Hi, Pip.
Well, hi, Catherine. How are you? Bonjour.
Bonjour. We have to think of a better beginning, I think.
Other than bonjour,
Yeah.
I
All
think we've
right.
got global appeal with bonjour.
Okay. That's fine then.
Salut. Hola.
So we're back after
Mushy
a bit.
mushy. Sorry, carry on.
We're back after a bit of a break, not having done this for a while.
Back by popular demand, yeah?
I don't know about that.
No, several friends, members, and whatnot have been desperate for another one of these. They've messaged me a few times saying, more please. So,
Well, that's very nice. I think one of the things that has happened is we have been chatting a lot anyway, but we don't necessarily click record because I've just, the longer this period of time has gone on in lockdown, it's felt like what I have been a little bit, what's the point?
what is the point?
But then our conversations have been really good still, and then also I like the fact that by having a waffly conversation and you don't necessarily know where it's going all the time.
Just out of interest, Belgian or potato?
Waffle. Very good. Definitely.
They're waffly versatile.
And I think that, I think I just got too focused on has to be a reason for doing it.
So you got this problem I don't have anymore. You get inside your head too much.
I get inside my head, exactly.
Not good. Don't do it.
But you see, now I've said that, and then this waffly conversation today is actually to lead to a project. So it's slightly more focused than any of the other waffly conversations we've had.
I like it. You've discussed this project slightly, so I have got a slight preview on what it might entail. I think it's very exciting.
I think that, before lockdown, we wanted to figure out if we could be artists, whatever that meant, and try out a few things. And we did a little performance, and then we got shut away. And so we've not been able to do anything, but we've been waffling. And then one of the things that we talked about was things that we're learning about ourselves in this time, and that we can just keep things moving forward. We don't need to wait for lockdown to end before we create whatever the next project might be. So I thought, well, why don't we make a project out of that, really? And now that everybody's starting
You need a framing device for that, though, don't you?
Now that everybody's
You took that literally, didn't you?
Now that everybody's starting to leave their houses and go through the front door a little bit more, for some people this is a really big thing, and like some people don't want to go outside yet. Some people are desperate to go outside, but it doesn't really matter. I just thought this was a nice opportunity to, I don't know, share some of the stuff we've been learning about ourselves, make it a bit fun, make it a bit silly.
I'm all for learning.
Go on then.
Shall I go first?
Yeah, what have you learned?
You can go first if you want to, because mine's obviously going to smash it.
No, go on.
Well, what I've learned is that I change every day. I am an evolving creature. Way back when, about 18 months ago, that time when I self-actualized, top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs for those in the back. Google it, kids. We change every day. We are products of our environment. We're products of our relationships and communities. We are changing all the time.
Mm.
There's ups and downs, bumps and bruises on the way.
Yeah.
And we're living in a very strange new world that everyone is having to learn to adapt to on a daily basis.
Yeah, maybe we notice those ups and downs a little bit more, because when you have those bumps,
there's a lot of time on your hands to dwell.
There's a lot of time on your hands to dwell, and you get inside your head. And I think that that's one of the things I've learned about myself, is that I spend too much time in my head. And that's sort of what having waffly conversations, it makes you not be in your head. and just have the same thoughts going on and on and on. And actually, I can play around a little bit more with who I am and how I choose to be on any particular day, and have fun and be a bit silly, and maybe not try to be, oh, this will be hard for me to say, but maybe not try to be so perfect all the time, you know.
Oh, steady on, princess.
No. I mean, in no way, shape, or form do I ever think I am. I feel like I contain myself sometimes in what my role is at work, or
CEO, no, she better don't.
and you know what my life is like as a mum, or any of those things. And so it makes me feel like, well, in order to be those things and to be those things really good, I have to do these things that are inside this box. And what I've learned in this last 12 weeks is that I don't
Well,
have to do that.
advice part A is stop compartmentalizing. But more importantly is, I don't know how to tell you this, Catherine, but you're not perfect. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but you just aren't.
No, I know, but I put pressure on myself to be that.
If it makes you feel better, and as hard as it may be for you to believe, I'm not perfect.
No, not.
No,
No,
I'm not perfect.
but that's the thing.
I fail, I make mistakes, I fuck up plenty of times because I'm learning new things every day. Life is different every day. The world changes every day.
Nobody else would ever define anybody else as perfect. That's not. Or
What about Thor?
Or set those Thor. Yeah. He's only perfect when he's in the Hugo Boss advert for me.
Is he wearing a cape in the Hugo Boss advert?
No, there's no cape, and he's not.
What's wrong with you?
He's not talking. But anyway, it's only ourselves that put expectations on ourselves about who we should be and how we should behave and what's the most appropriate behaviour, and what you should be thinking. And I am hoping that, you know, even when we're out in the real world now, we go out a little bit more, that I keep some of that air of freedom from that. And that's what I'd like, a little bit of freedom in my thought, a little bit more.
Take it then.
Okay, I will.
Go for it.
That's what I'm going to do. So the project,
oh man, you self-actualized too. Brilliant.
I hate that word. Stop.
I know. That's why I keep saying it. Yes, I dropped out of a psychology degree the same as everybody else. Okay.
So
just a few extra bloody vowels. It's not big or clever.
We're going to do a project called Shut the Front Door, which is it's about the fact that we've got our door frames, got our boxes that might contain us.
Not dissimilar to our little zooming boxes.
Not dissimilar to our zooming boxes. And going to create some art in it, or anything. So we're going to start sharing on, well, Instagram. We're new to Instagram, so maybe on there. We are on Twitter, but we've not used it very much. So we're going to start sharing on those some photographs, maybe some film of us in our door frames, you in yours, me in mine, occasionally in separate door frames, at least 2 meters apart.
How far is 2 meters?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm really old. I'm of a different generation. If they'd done it in imperial terms, I could have got it.
And we're gonna just, I don't know, we're gonna share some, I can't think of another word. I don't know if I want to just use art, but we're going to create something. Something's going to happen in a door frame. It might
be a global movement.
It might be. Well, it might be a dance. I'm going to dance in my door frame. It might be a sculpture, it might be a game, it might be like a still photograph. And in it, we're going to, alongside that, we're going to share things that we've learnt about ourselves in lockdown and that have surprised us. And do we want other people to do that too?
I hope so.
I
Everyone's
hope
got a door frame. Sorry, homeless people. Because actually, the only homeless people I know all have homes. So, yeah, they can join in too.
Well, because that's been one of the good things about, like, during this lockdown period, is that people who wouldn't normally have a home or a house to go to, miraculously, people have been able to find spaces for them to go.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, no. And so, and everybody's now got to this point where we're all allowed to go out a little bit more. So it's a bit of a big thing. And so maybe people want to share about what it's like to suddenly have a front door.
The world is creeping back to some kind of normal as slowly as possible. I mean, last time I went into town, it was because the shops have reopened now. It's so much busier, you know.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Well, I was hanging out with Rhea at the studio, and we were just people watching outside for a little bit, and just it's great. I mean, like there's still, you know, masks. The people who can find a mask, good for them. But you know, other than like the other plague I lived through in the 80s, everyone seems to be very, very pleasant with each other, with their fellow man and woman, whatever.
I think that there is an awful lot of happiness when you go out. You can just see the joy of people just being able to connect with other people again. But there is also a lot of fear still. I know a lot of people who are not going out, and they're feeling left out almost. Half the world is going out, and it's still really difficult. So I think that what I like about this project possibly is it still means that it doesn't matter, you know, where you're at with going out or staying in. It doesn't matter how you're feeling about that, but maybe you can create something to happen in your front door, send us a picture of it or a film, and we'll share it.
Yeah.
So are we asking what surprised you? That's it.
That's easy.
That
doesn't even require that much introspection. I mean, come on, we're not asking for your deep, darkest secrets and fears.
No.
What wakes you in the night? We don't need that.
We don't need that. Have a bit of fun.
Have fun. Be silly.
And we are Pip and Cat, Pip and cat on Instagram.
How many dots did you throw in there?
I had to put 2 in. They wouldn't let us do it any other way. So Pip and cat on Instagram and Pip and Cat on Twitter. And you might start seeing some shut the front door action. Right.
I like it. Sounds
this
awesome.
is possibly the shortest recording we've had. I'm looking around for a time, but I can't see one.
Well, I didn't look at the time before when we started, so I can't really help you out there.
Okay.
About 1:45, if that's any use.
Okay. Right. I'm going to go and take some photos.
Cool. What's the opposite of bonjour?
Au revoir.
Get out. I don't know. Back up off me.
I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. In 2 or 3D. Who knows?
Bye.